guys, it's Steve. Welcome back to my channel. Now this is my official Terrifier 3 movie review. This is actually the second movie review that I've done. I did Abigail, and now I'm going to be doing Terrifier 3. So I saw Terrifier 3 around 2 nights ago. At night, yeah. It was crazy. The movie, I'll just put it out there, was insane. Like, in so many ways. And I'm just going to start off this review by just saying that it looks like Terrifier, the franchise, is on its way to becoming a Jason or a Michael Myers or a Ghostface in like those iconic ways, you know what I mean? Like the Terrifier franchise with Art the Clown, it's starting to become one of those iconic horror franchises, if that makes sense. And you know, with Terrifier 4 now on the way, as it's officially confirmed, that's also another reason why I think it's also going to become such a big franchise. I mean, it already is by so many. It beat Joker right now, almost double what Joker made its opening weekend, which is insane, you know? But that's what they said. The fourth one's coming out, so we'll see where that takes us. Something they said about the fourth one is that they're going to be topping the shower scene in Terrifier 3, and for those of you that have watched this movie, you know what happens in that shower scene with Art the Clown. I don't know how the heck they're going to top that. There's just no way they can. That brings me to one of the points in the review is the amount of gore in this movie. As you know, the Terrifier series is really known for the gore and all that stuff, you know? It's really known for that. And I think it is a little overdone in some instances. Like, I get it. It's like a supernatural horror film. So things aren't going to be always realistic, but at some point you just gotta lower that a little bit. Like, sometimes it does get a little too far, and that was clearly shown in Terrifier 3. I'm not gonna get into any specifics of what happened, probably because I can't even say it, but you know, the things that they did in this movie topped the second one by far. The shower scene was the most brutal and gruesome death scene in any horror franchise that I've ever seen. Terrifier 3 marks the first movie I've actually had to look away from in a horror movie. And it wasn't just the shower scene, it was so many different scenes across the movie. There's in the beginning quarter of the movie, you know, there's these two guys who explore Art and Vicky's, you know, lair or whatever you call it, and things that Art does in that scene and things that Vicky does in that scene, it was so messed up. And like, I can't get into the specific details and all that stuff, I won't, but it's just so like deranged and crazy that they were able to actually show this in theaters, what they did. Like, I don't think I've actually seen that happen before. Like, I get it, there's like movies with a lot of gore, but this just takes it to the whole nother level. And the things that they've done with the gore, around the gore, it's insane in like good and bad ways. As we know, the budget for this movie increased from the second one, so their gore and all the effects is going to be more realistic, so that just makes it even more scary. Getting into the next topic, besides the gore, is the storyline with Sienna and all that. I really like Sienna. I think she's a good character. The acting is really, really well done, especially the finale scene in this movie. Like, her acting is on top. The actor for Sienna is on top. She knows what she's doing. She knows the character well. She does a perfect job at it. And Sienna's on her way to becoming one of the new final girls too, like Sam, Sydney, Laurie Strode. She's working her way up that list, like where they went with Sienna and her brother in this movie and all that. Like, you know, they're having trouble moving forward from what happened in the second Terrifier. You know, the same formula was used for like the Scream movies, like Scream 5 and 6. Sam and Tara were trying to move on from what happened. Same thing happens in Terrifier. But I think they could have shown a little more of that. You know, Terrifier, as I said, it's mainly focused on the gore, not as much as the storyline, even though the storyline is good. It's mainly focused on the gore, so you kind of don't have a lot to learn from the storyline. Like, it is a little confusing what happened to Vicky, why she looks like that, why she's with Art the Clown, you know? All the things that happened from Terrifier 2 and 3, you know? It is a little confusing, especially the end of Terrifier 3 was a little confusing with what happened and all that stuff. But, I liked it. I just wish they showed more of the character development from Sienna. And also, something that makes me mad in this movie, particularly, is the amount of off-screen kills. And these off-screen kills are, some of them are important, some aren't. The more important ones, it makes me mad because obviously if they're bigger characters, like, this is a spoiler review, so I'm gonna say, if you haven't watched the movie already, skip over this part or stop watching from here. But basically, you know, we know that Jonathan was quote-unquote killed. We saw his skull in the finale scene. We don't actually know if that's him or not, but it's weird that he's one of, like, the main characters, right? Why would they show him die? Like, why would they do it off screen without anyone knowing? That to me was a little weird. I didn't really like that because he has so much significance, you know? Why would they do it off screen? Well, compare it. It's like if you, in Scream 5, if you killed Dewey off screen, that wouldn't make sense, would it? No, it wouldn't. So why would, you know, I don't think it was the right choice for him to kill Jonathan off screen. In some instances, killing a character off screen is better and it makes it scarier, like the opening scene for this movie when Art the Clown is dressed up as Santa and the little girl is watching him walk upstairs and he enters the bedroom of the little brother and kills him right there. You don't see anything, but you hear what's happening. So that's really scary because you don't see what's happening, but you hear it and you know what's happening. And it's so scary for that part, but I just wish they didn't do that to Jonathan off screen, you know? Give him a little more significance. To be honest, I think Victoria in this movie was much more of a threat than Art the Clown was, even though he did most of the killing. Victoria she doesn't joke around like Art does. She doesn't like smile, like play with, you know, she doesn't do anything like that. She's straight to the point and she's scary and ruthless, like worse than Art the Clown in my opinion, because she doesn't have the comedy that he does, if that makes sense, you know? So I think she was, especially in the finale scene when her and the mom was tied up and Sienna was tied up and Gabby was there and all that stuff, it was much more scary because, you know, Victoria wasn't joking around. Other than that, I like the movie. I think their cinematography really improved since the last two. The last two were, like, I like the film where it's very, it's more narrowed than something that's more up and down wide, if that makes sense. I don't know what it's, like, actually called, but I know there's the film where it's wide and then, you know, not as tall. It's like a narrower film, and then there's one where it's taller and less wider, if that makes sense. More like a square compared to like a longer rectangle. I like the more rectangle look, if that makes sense. Just gives it more of a professional cinematography, so it's something that they really did from the second to the third one, which I really liked. And there was this really cool grainy filter over the whole movie that I actually really liked. It's not like really visible, but if you really look at it enough, you'll see there's a little filter over it, and it just gives it a cool look to the movie. But last things I have to say about this movie, I do think the way that all these characters have died, it's pretty crazy, you know? But I wish some of these characters that they kill off so soon have some more development, because honestly, some of these characters in the Terrifier franchise, not just Terrifier 3, we don't even see them in more than like 2 or 3 scenes. Some of them are only in one scene, and that one scene is their death, like the security guard. I get it, he doesn't really have to have like as much significance, you know, but you know, other characters that have had one scene who are somewhat important, and then they die in that one scene, so it's like they don't have any build up, so you don't feel anything for that character. Like when Sienna was there and her mom was there in the final act of Terrifier 3, I felt for them. They have the build up, you know? Other characters who don't have the build up, I don't really feel anything for, you know? Overall though, this new movie, Terrifier 3, was pretty crazy. I did like it. I think it was really good. It was well done. The script that they wrote was awesome. How they put it together was awesome. The set pieces, all that stuff, I think it was really good, and the bigger budget that they had really helped. I think this movie's good. It's a pretty solid movie. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. They really did improve from the second one, I will say, in every aspect. They really did improve. Yeah, that's my review on Terrifier 3. If you guys see it or not, let me know in the comments below what you liked and what you didn't like in it, and I'll get to them and I'll talk with you guys if I can about it. If I do another live stream, we can talk about it more. Yeah, if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video.